So, an explanation of my plan of attack with the undercoating. Where I've got masked off, I think I'm going to leave that bare aluminum. I don't see a lot of rocks and stones getting thrown up on that. Plus, with this fresh air duct already mounted up here, it's going to be difficult to get behind it without making a total mess. So I've masked that off. So this part in the back here is just bare aluminum. Seems like it would resonate pretty badly. The underside of the fender well where is fiberglass, and best I can down around this area. Obviously, I'm only going to get so much. I don't want to slather all of the back of my headlight bucket. I've pulled the turn indicators off just to get them out of the way, and masked over the front so I don't accidentally have anything come out on the paint, which is very important. So I may or may not actually film me doing this. My weapons of choice are going to be a combination of rollers and brushes. You can spray the stuff as well, but A, I don't have a spray gun, and B, that means masking off everything and making a huge mess. So we're going to try rolling. I may be able to do a test area and then bring you back and see how that test area looks. And let me get after it. Well, here's where we are after the first coat. You can see it kind of turns from a blue to a black. The nice part is you can't tell crappy brush marks on fiberglass. And it's drying just about the same color as the fiberglass mat was, so that's awesome. Now, where it doesn't look cool yet is that. Now, this is coat 1 of 3, maybe 4. So my hope is that once you actually get to cover up the aluminum, it doesn't bleed through, then you won't be able to tell the brush marks. It's undercoating. Nobody's really going to see it. Again, I did choose to leave that back panel bare aluminum, and let me show you what I did with the back. Sort of the same idea back here. This is, I want to, well, let me pan out a little. This area right in here is directly behind the seat. So I'm going to make sure that is plenty thick. Before you could see light through it, which, you know, is just fiberglass. And if you tapped on it, it would kind of ring. So the hope is with a good 4 mils or so of this undercoating on there. Oh, and just to show what I'm using, it's called Spectrum. It's water-based, so I didn't have any concerns about it interacting with the fiberglass and screwing anything up there. And it's easy to clean up. Again, I'm just leaving that back aluminum. There's not going to be rocks thrown on that, and you might actually be able to see that when you stand behind the, out to the side of the car, so I just chose not to put undercoating on it. We'll bring you back after a couple more coats, see how it looks. Okay, so this is the undercoating after coat number 2. I think it looks a lot better. Yeah, there are brush marks, but it's undercoating. I'm not super worried about it. You can't see this. The point is that that's getting deader now, right? It was pretty ringy before. We've gone up all the underside, kind of carefully around the headlight. And the nice part is it dries out a really matte black. It matches the fiberglass pretty well. So even if there's spots where I've got a little more, or I didn't cover a little bit just because it's up in a corner, like you can kind of see around that headlight bucket, I think it looks pretty good. I'll get one more coat on this. Maybe we'll bring you back and let you see the final product, and we'll see you then. Well, I've got the third coat on. As you can see, it's still drying because it kind of goes on a bluish gray, which is kind of nice because you can tell, if you're missing a spot when you're putting your second coats on. One thing to note, and I've tried to put it extra thick. Let me show you where I am. This is the rear wheel well, and this is where it backs up to the passenger compartment. And I try to put it extra thick here because that's right behind the seat. And it was pretty, again, I think I said it before, pretty ringy before. One thing I'll note that maybe diverges from ERA's order of operations. As you can see, I put the tonneau covers in on the back. I'll have another video on that. But they actually go through. And so I put my first 2 coats on, and what I noticed on the third, you can barely see, like here and here, they actually go through. So if it was me to do it again, I would go ahead and chase out and put in those tonneau covers. Here's a third one right there. I'd put those tonneau covers in first because it will punch a hole inside the fender well, and then you get a nice thick coating of undercoating on there so it seals the tips so that if you do happen to drive in rain, you don't have it bubbling water up through those and make a mess possibly. So that, I think, is a wrap on this. I'm happy with that it turned out. I'll pull the masking off here. And my, I guess, advice would be, don't try to be too fine with it. It's undercoating. It's not going to look great. It's intended to cut down on sound and, you know, just protect, to me, the underside of the fenders. And if you bring your wife out to show her what you're done for progress, don't expect her to go, "Oh, that's nice, honey." You're going to get, "Are you going to polish that or something later?" But no, we're not. It's undercoating. Well, that's about all I have. Thanks for watching, and I suspect the next video will be out here before too long.